oils are antimicrobial. And again, don't post this all over the world because the FDA doesn't let us say that. So the myth of snake oil is...
Aren't we a bunch of microbes? How would they know which ones to kill and which ones to save?
Just relax. It's not for everyone.
Welcome to the Venture into Moving podcast with your higgity host, Nate Becker. That's me.
First of all, I'm going to tell you something. I thought your last name was Miracle for like 2 months. Mm-hmm. And is it pronounced Maricle or Maricle? How do you...
My name is Cindy Maricle. I just say Maricle.
Maricle.
Yeah.
Because I was saying, oh yeah, my friend Cindy Miracle. This for a long time. You're not realizing that's a M-A, not an M-I. Yeah. Anyway.
That's okay. That's very cool.
Sweet. So I'm here with Cindy Maricle. I met you at BNI.
Yes.
And you do wonders with oil.
Yeah.
I'm a customer. You brought me. So we're at her home right now. Right behind the camera is her little healing spot. And boy, howdy, it's some crazy stuff. You just dripped oils on me and I grew like a half an inch to an inch. I don't even know what that's all about. But we're also here with a nice red juice. Cheers to that. You make this?
Nope. This is the flagship product from my company, and it's called Ningxia Red. It's a goji berry puree, superfood.
Ooh. This is good for you?
Dude.
But it tastes so good.
Well.
I'm going to take another sip.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yep. If you could only have one product out of 400 in my company, that would be the one that I would recommend.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah?
I can't believe it actually is good for you.
Oh, very good. Yeah.
But anyway, let's give me the quick version. Who are you? What do you do? And then we're going to jump into the meat and potatoes of it down the line. Let's just give everyone a little outlook.
Well, I'm a mom. I homeschooled, my husband and I homeschooled 4 kids. They're now fully launched entrepreneurial adults.
Oh, wow. How did homeschooling turn out? Are they integrated in society or are they weird like everyone thinks?
Well, you know what? Personalities are what they are. But yeah, no, they're extraordinary humans. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, of course,
yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what was so your company or the company is Abundant Living Naturally, right?
That's my company.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's tell me a little bit about it. That's what I want to start this meat and potatoes with.
Good. Well,
now, how long ago did you start it, and what's the origin story?
It's been about 20 years that I've been in the world of essential oils, and I wasn't a believer. I thought this was expensive potpourri.
Yeah.
I come from Western medicine. My background, I'm a medical technologist way back when I went to college.
What's a medical technologist?
I worked in clinical labs, and I had a stint of teaching. I taught hematology, the study of blood. That's what
hema is blood?
Yeah.
So when I get a hematoma, it's just bumps of blood or raised blood?
Yeah, blood under the skin, you know. Yeah.
I've had many hematomas.
Yeah, bruises, you bet.
Yeah.
Right.
So anyway.
Yeah, no, I love the science. And so people say to me, Cindy, you take the woo-woo out of essential oils.
It's a lot of woo.
There's a lot of woo, and there's a lot of misinformation.
Oh, yeah.
Like a lot of things.
I'll ask you about the snake oil eventually, you know.
Yeah.
Because you'd literally do oil.
Totally.
In fact, real quick, my back was hurting so bad. And we tried to start this podcast, and Cindy was like, "Not on my watch, buddy." And she pulled out some oils and gave me a little rub-a-dub scrub. And I can feel it doing something down there right now. It's tingling away.
Yeah, good. So, I love it. Well, hopefully it'll make you more comfortable.
I can't get any less comfortable. Low back injuries are no fun for anybody.
Well, first, this is maybe a good time for me to say I'm not a doctor. I'm an educator. I empower people to do their own healing. Mm-hmm. So, just so you know.
I hear that the placebo effect is real, like the body's able to heal itself.
You know, yeah, it is. And I think this is the most important thing. I think our mind really can dictate a lot.
I think so too. I like it. Well, so what do you want people to understand about you before they judge the essential oil thing? Because a lot of people they judge, as you say, snake oil.
Well, I think I can relate to people because I thought it was just woo-woo, just kind of hocus pocus, until I I mean, I had been around essential oils, and I just discounted it 100%.
Oh yeah, me too.
Really?
I used to live on a hippie commune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Expensive potpourri
Yep.
is what I thought it was. And people would say, here, try this. No, because I'm a medical technologist. But you know what happened is I had some severe spinal injuries, horseback riding related, all of that. And interviewed and consulted with neurosurgeons. And I didn't like what Western medicine could offer me
Did they
at
say?
that time.
Did they say we're going to fuse you?
Yeah, titanium plate fusion surgery. And I'm like, okay, if that's what it is. But my friend, who's a nurse, she said, Cindy, don't fuse your spine if you don't have to, because what happens, she sees it in the hospital on the floor. People come back a little bit later. You fuse this part of your spine, and it changes the whole mechanics. Now, I'm not saying don't do it, but for me, I decided to start looking outside Western medicine, because if you change the mechanics of your spine, it puts stress on this end and then this end. And often, sometimes people have surgeries a few years later, another surgery or whatever.
And then eventually their whole spine is one big metal rod, right?
Sometimes. Everybody's different. I didn't want to take that chance. So I'm like, okay. And the other option was meds. Because really, Western medicine offers two things. Surgery, if you need it, we have some brilliant surgeons.
Oh, yeah.
And meds, But the meds for me were steroid injections. And I just didn't want that process going on.
I'm on a steroid right now. It's a 6-day steroid for my lower back. I forget what it's called, but I'm on that. And my doctors, the Western doctors that I've seen, have already recommended surgery, although they said they don't want to. I'm pushing 40, but they say I'm young still. They said they don't want me doing surgery, and they don't want me doing stem cell injections. But what about, have you ever heard of stem cell injections?
I've heard of it. I can't say I know a lot,
Yeah.
but I've heard of it. There's some real innovative stuff.
Yep. So what the doctors do now is they just throw pills at me.
Yeah.
Which is
Band-Aid.
Yeah.
It's a Band-Aid.
Band-Aids. And the more Band-Aids you get, the more Band-Aids you need, right?
That's a really good line. I like that. Sometimes.
All right, let's go back into the abundant living naturally. Let's get into that origin story a little bit further. You said you hurt your back.
I did. I was right where you were, and I'm like, surgery? My friend. Drugs? I knew better, because I did drug levels in my work in the laboratory.
It changes who you are when you're
It
pilled
does.
out.
It does. Yeah, for sure. And so I'm like, okay, I'm open. What's out there in what I used to discount as woo-woo? So I started exploring, and I got my first, that session that I gave you, the raindrop technique.
Oh, yeah.
I received one. And I got off at the massage table with a significant difference. Sorry for the background.
It's okay. You can hear C-3PO in the background, everybody?
Yeah, I got off the table, and I'm like, I wasn't healed, I'm not perfect, but it made a huge difference, and it got my attention. So maybe there's something to these snake oils.
It feels good. It's very relaxing. It feels good. You measured me before and afterwards, and it was kind of weird that I literally grew.
Well, honestly, you didn't grow. Sorry. Hate
Oh,
to break it to you,
I
but you
saw
did.
the marks on the wall.
I know, but your spine straightened, and probably the intervertebral spaces changed a little bit. Like in between your vertebrae, So, it's it's kind of a nice visual of before and after.
I like it. So that was the exact moment you decided to start doing it. You got one treatment.
I'm like, I need to know more about this. There's
Okay.
something to this. And I began to explore, because otherwise I didn't know where to go. And so that's what I did. And I began studying and getting certified to do and teach the raindrop technique.
Okay.
And so,
can you explain a little bit more to people listening? What is the raindrop technique? I mean, it's not exactly self-explanatory.
no, it's not. Good point. It got its name because you drip essential oils on about 6 inches above the spine, and the oil molecules begin to work in that space. Anyway, so the dripping gave it the name the raindrop technique. When you're on the table, you feel like drip, drip.
Yeah.
It's very light. It's not a deep tissue massage. It's essential oils.
When I was laying there, I definitely had that song from the Bambi movie. If you ever saw the Bambi movie, near the beginning it's raining and it's like drip, Ding dong. I forget how it goes right now, but I was laying there thinking of the Bambi scene.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
That's
But
funny.
I liked it a lot. So, what did your first year look like though, when you were getting into it all and doing your studying?
I was required to do practices. So I would invite people to come over and get a freebie. And I'd give them a raindrop technique. Or I then later had to teach workshops. So I'd have to fill my living room with 5 or 10 people, get signatures. And people were like, wait, I need to know more about this.
Yeah.
And so, okay. And it turns out you can sign people up and they can get oils directly from the company. And I began to build yet another business. I didn't really want another business because I was working with our family businesses. But, it just started happening. And pretty soon I was getting my products paid for. And so, yeah, that's a little...
I dig. Yeah, that's good stuff. So, what about now? What's the day-to-day look like with abundant living now? What do people, you still getting your door pounded down, people trying to want the raindrop technique, or how's that working?
Well, last week I did 4 out of my
Nice.
home, more like educational and just word of mouth kind of thing. I also, answer people's questions. Somebody
Educator.
needed some oils. I'm like, yeah, I can help you get connected. I was in Maui last month, and a couple of my contacts there said, I want to try these products. And so,
And is there a big difference between oils I'll buy from the marketplace, just from Kmart or wherever, I don't know where you buy oils from, and the oils that you provide? Is there?
You know what? That is a really good question. And that, one of my biggest pet peeves in this industry is that because it's unregulated, companies jump on the bandwagon. It's kind of a hot topic, essential oils. They put their label on it, but you don't know the source. And so I love Young Living because it's the farmer in the marketplace. I've been to many of our farms around the world and our distilleries. And one time, this is when I was like, whoa, this is legit. I was in northern Idaho at one of our farms, and it's like this, at that time, that was 15, 20 years ago. It was like this veritable logging camp with canvas-sided buildings, but inside one of those canvas-sided buildings was a laboratory with probably, at that time, maybe $250,000 worth of state-of-the-art instruments testing what they were producing.
That was a fun yurt.
I was super impressed.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, these are legitimate technologies.
Yeah, so they're doing the farming technique with the advanced scientific technique, and they're molding it into one process. So when I got my raindrop from you, I remember I came in and I was squeezing something. Remember you had me?
Yeah.
What was that?
That's a device, not part of the Young Living company, but it's a device, a biofeedback device that kind of gives me feedback as to what you might need, what your body is needing at the time.
I'm still thinking, like, how the heck does that work? So I was squeezing something, and it was a biofeedback device, and it runs through and tells the computer what's wrong with my body, or
like, have you ever heard of a Fitbit?
Oh yeah, of course.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Galvanic skin response. So
you got all the big words today.
I'm sorry. Well, that is the technology. It's a legit technology,
no.
and it just kind of understands what's going on real time in your body.
Yeah, that was really important
That's
to me.
kind of cool stuff.
I liked it a lot. So, tell me the first real win that you had, thinking, 19, 20 years back with Abundant Living. What was the first time you helped somebody, or you just had your victory, your first?
Well, I told you I was kind of practicing and teaching and learning, and people were getting results. It's like, wait a minute. Somebody might have, for example, a headache. I'd put an oil on them, and in minutes they'd go, wait, how come I always have people just like you rate your number before and after, and within a few minutes they'd say, I'd check in, say, like, what's your pain level now? Like for you were a 4.
Yeah, and I was just thinking in my head, like, I was a 7 earlier. When I got to you right now, I was a 4, but just painful enough to hurt sitting down, kind of thing. And I can already feel it, either my tension's lessening or something is going on down there where it's tingly and it feels relaxing in there. And that's what I have a really tight muscles right now, and that's helping this conversation go better.
Oh,
So
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. So, when people would say, wow, this is working, how do I get these oils? I realized it wasn't just me. This is something that helps a lot of people. And then, interestingly, remember, I wasn't planning to do this as a business.
Yeah.
Sorry, we live in the country, and so there's little...
yeah, once in a while we're going to be swatting a gnat.
Yeah, there's a gnat out here.
A gnat and a Nate, so don't hit me on accident.
No, won't do it. That's funny. I had some people over in Vancouver area and the Portland area, and they said, Cindy, we want to learn more. And I had some business background because Scott and I had businesses for years. And these people were wanting to do this business, but they needed some training and they wanted to learn more about the oils. So they would come over the mountain once a month and we'd have a little training,
Oil
leadership.
party.
Oil party, but more.
Yeah.
Like education. And pretty soon I thought, you know what? Why don't you teach next time? And so they began to grow and develop and became their own leaders,
So in the 20 years that you've been doing this, what's the biggest change you've seen from a business point of view? Like, would you have to change or grow or evolve on to take your business from day one to, I don't know how many days 20 years is, but...
One of the biggest shifts for me is to focus on wins.
Okay.
And
so think about the positives.
Think about the positive.
Okay.
And and also just relax. It's not for everyone, and if I can help someone, great. And yeah.
I like that. All right, so I'm going to ask a few rapid fire myth questions, and I want you to give me as long of an answer as you need to kind of dispel these myths.
Okay.
We have all day. If anybody needs to pause it, they can pause it and re-listen to it. So what's the biggest myth about essential oils that just drives you nuts?
Well, there's a big myth.
I thought these questions
There are a few myths. And first of all, one is that it's just snake oil. Let's go into that.
Do it.
There's a history to snake oil, and one of my mentors wrote it in his book. And Dr. David Stewart. So the myth of snake oil is, it's really melaleuca.
Okay, another big word. Go on.
Tea tree.
Okay.
You've heard of tea tree.
I know tea tree.
Oil.
I use tea tree oil all the time.
Yeah, tea tree oil.
It's fantastic.
It's fantastic. And it comes from, I think, Australia. And years ago, you remember when these merchants would, cross the country and sell out of their, covered wagon or whatever. I don't know
Step
how
right
far
up,
back
ma'am.
went. Right. Well, so it turns out that tea tree oil is a natural snake antivenom. Okay? So in other words, if you got a snake bite, if you could get some tea tree oil, as this legend goes, then it would neutralize the venom and people didn't die from rattlesnake bites back in the Wild West.
To me, that seems unbelievable. Is that...
No, it's actually true.
Okay. I believe when you say things that this feels that way.
Well, it does have that detoxing capability, but here's where where the snake oil came in.
Yeah.
So, and it happens today, which is why I like this story, is so they started diluting it to get a little more profits going on and make a little more money. And pretty soon, guess what? This snake oil wasn't working anymore because it was too adulterated, too watered down. And so people would use it and it wouldn't work. They paid good money and the person died or whatever anyway. And so snake oil salesman, which is what I am. I sell tea tree oil. So that's the story behind it. But it got a bad name, and now we think of it as fake and phony because of what man does.
Oh yeah, we all do that. Is tea tree oil a good antifungal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's another really cool thing. Now, you're not really allowed to say anti. The FDA doesn't like us to say that. Only doctors, only the medical world can say that. But we're in my home.
We do whatever we want. We're on your couch.
We can do whatever we want from my home. So essential oils all of them have varying degrees of antimicrobial activity, and this is well documented.
Okay.
All right. So antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal. Now, when I say antiviral, there's not much that kills viruses. If you go and get a throat swab and they say, oh, it's a virus, go home and just, address the symptoms.
Yeah.
Not so with the oils. The oils are antimicrobial. And again, don't post this all over the world because the FDA doesn't let us say that. But they support our bodies natural immune system.
So how would the oil know which? Because aren't we a bunch of microbes? How would they know which ones to kill and which ones to save?
That's a really good question. So essential oils are the immune system of plants. Okay. And so our immune system knows, we fight the bad stuff and we support the good stuff. And so I believe there is just this divine natural knowledge that if you don't mess with these molecules, they work.
They just know what to do.
They have an inherent, knowing.
Okay.
Just like your body.
So I was going to ask you about dosing, but that kind of covered it. People back in the day would water it down and water down the effectiveness of it.
Absolutely.
So it wouldn't work anymore.
Well, and to address dosing in one sentence, every body is different. Unlike drugs that are manipulated and standardized in a lab that is pretty precise, you can, dose according to body weight and all of that. With essential oils, you get to take the responsibility to do your own research with your own experience.
I dig that. I usually just take my doses with mimosas. We have this red drink though, so that's close enough.
Close enough.
Okay, let's see what else is next here. How do you build your expertise? So you do courses, mentors, clinical experience?
I'm a lifelong learner.
Yeah, when did you start with, you're a lifelong learner, but when did you start down the medical path? Was that just straight out of Jump Street, or how long has it been since you've been in the medical-ish field?
Well, that's a great question. I have a bachelor's degree in clinical laboratory science. So, in high school, I liked biology and chemistry.
Nice.
Believe it or not. And so
those are fun. I love them both.
Yep.
I'm a science dork.
There we go.
As much as I can be.
I love that.
Yeah.
And so the science appeals to me, and that's, I'm not really a make candles with my girlfriends kind of a person. I'm really about the therapeutic use of oils. And I have a couple of really amazing stories.
Well, let me get at least one of them.
Here's the one that kind of, besides my own, I haven't had a medication, even an aspirin or a Tylenol.
Oh, I was going to ask about that.
For 20 years.
Your spine. Yeah, really?
Really, honest Injun. I broke my arm a couple years ago. They gave me Vicodin. I filled this prescription thinking broken bones are painful. I never used one, not even an aspirin or a Tylenol, because I would if I needed to.
Yeah.
But the oils have worked for me.
And
not everybody.
Doesn't those over-the-counter pills slow down healing?
I think so. And
that's what I've heard.
They're toxins.
Yeah.
Medicine is toxic by definition, which is why when I worked in the lab, we had
Really?
Yes.
Blowing my mind.
Yeah. But that's why you have to, they're very useful in certain scenarios, and that's why a doctor needs to be involved, somebody that knows the pharmaceutical world.
Someone with 20 years of schooling.
Yeah. But what I love about essential oils is, little kids with supervision can safely use essential oils.
Can you overdose? Sorry to interrupt.
Can you overdose on essential oils? Yeah, there are some extreme cases, like there are hot oils. And like oregano, you're not going to want to douse somebody with lots of oregano.
I take oregano almost every day. I take it in pill form. I used to take it in liquid form.
Yeah.
But it is so aggressive.
It's aggressive.
It is so.
So there's some common sense. And then carrier oils are the way to dilute essential oils. And a carrier oil is like, almond oil or olive oil or jojoba oil.
I'm a jojoba freak.
Yeah, that's a great
yeah.
way to dilute essential oils, not water. Don't use water because water and oil don't mix. So if I put an oil on and it was a little too hot or strong, if I put water on, what's it going to do? It's going to flee the water and go in faster into my body and burn worse.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so people need to know that. A lot of people don't know.
I had no idea.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Before.
I know that oil and water don't mix. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize
but
that.
You don't really connect the dots, and that's what I can do for people. But let me tell you my mom's story.
Yeah.
So in the process of building a team and doing this as a business, kind of by accident, not really. And so I became a leader that won some prizes, and my company sent me down to Ecuador. So Scott and I went down to Ecuador, and we have a distillery, farms, and there is a little clinic nearby. So we went to the clinic, and I learned some really unique ways to support wellness naturally, to support our body, to do what it's designed to do. And I thought, man, if ever anybody comes to me with something really serious, I'm going to suggest they take a look at this clinic. So then within maybe a month, my mom calls me.
Okay.
Cindy, I have stage 3 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and I wanted to let you know.
What is that?
That's a cancer of the blood.
Oh, it's a blood cancer?
The blood cancer.
Oh my
She went
gosh.
to Mayo Clinic, and they gave her this diagnosis. They said, if you don't do anything, she was 80 years old. Okay. They said, if you don't do anything, you probably have a couple months.
Oh, no.
Right? And if you go through the chemo and the process that they had, you might have a couple years. So that was 10 years ago. And I'm headed to Florida next month to celebrate her 90th birthday.
No.
So what she did, so I know that if you're going to support your body naturally, you have to do it first. Like you can't go through some aggressive chemotherapy that, and I'm just saying, it's fine for whatever you do, you.
Yeah.
But if you choose chemotherapy, you're really knocking down your odds of taking care of yourself naturally.
It seems like chemo kills it kills you, it kills the cancer and it kills you. And maybe the cancer outlives it, maybe you outlive it. To me, that seems like the very last resort for me. If I was nervous, I personally, and I'm not a doctor, I'll tell you this right now.
Yeah, we're educated. We're talking.
I would start with fasting.
Yeah, absolutely. I really agree with that. I think there's a lot that can happen when you just let your body do its thing. So, but I just told Mom, if you want to, as you're researching, if you want to do this naturally, remember when I was down in Ecuador, I will take you down with me and we could go to that clinic. Oh, Cindy, she said. Well, she went and she interviewed some people that were getting IV chemotherapy, and they looked about her age. 2 women looked about her age. Remember, she was 80.
Yeah.
She went and talked to them, and they were younger than me. And at the time, I was in my 40s. So she thought to herself, I won't survive this. So she called me back and said, if you'll go with me, let's go to Ecuador. So we spent 7 weeks immersed in natural support, healthy living, healthy eating, and lots of essential oils every day and every way, and lots of those raindrop techniques. I gave her 3 raindrop sessions a week while we were down there.
It's so intense that I've never heard outside of you of most of what you're saying.
I know.
It seems like it's hidden, and then it also seems like when I have heard about it, it's almost always a success story. That's not 100% or anything, but it seems like when I hear about it, it's a success story like this.
Well, these are profound stories, but we're not at liberty to share outside of our home just because the FDA really, I mean, my mom has not used Western medicine very much in the last, 10 years.
I have a chiropractor friend who goes off on Rockefeller and the petroleum-based medical system that we have for profit right now. I'm looking forward to getting him on episode one day because I want to dive deep into that, and we'll keep the FDA away from that one too.
Well, the thing is, we're constantly putting lotions and potions that have those petrochemicals in our body. And so when our body's not designed, we have no mechanism to break down petroleum-based products in our body. So they get encapsulated in in our fat tissue. That's one of the jobs of adipose or fat.
Adipose? What's that?
Fat.
That's
fat tissues.
Okay. I like these fancy terms. Keep them coming.
Well,
I want to learn.
But that's what one of the jobs of fat is to encapsulate toxic molecules. Well, man, some of us, I was in my 40s before I really got into essential oils. So that's 40 years of shampoos and toxic chemical laden products. And we're all doing it. And it's hurting us.
Yep. Tell me this real quick, a little digression. So the only soap that I use is Dr. Bronner's. Is that still petroleum based? Do you know?
I don't know what's in it. I think it has a good reputation.
It has a great reputation.
You just have to read fine tune, read the fine print.
It's so hard to be an American right now and to have a healthy body, or maybe a human in general, but...
It is. Well, we have livers. I don't think people should run around living in fear because we're designed to clean the atmospheric exposure. But you know what? I think we need to stop bringing in so much toxic chemicals. And that's what I've done over the last 20 years. Little by little, I'm upgrading, getting rid of toxic chemical products, cleaners, toothpaste, skincare.
Oh yeah.
And it's made a huge difference.
It's so overwhelming. It's so overwhelming. You hear about how bad toothpaste is for you. Sunscreen can be for you if it's the wrong sunscreen. All these things that are, I got Crest in my house, and I got Banana Boat in my house, and then people are saying you can't have that, you can't have that. Oh, darn! I'm glad we're having these conversations.
Well, and that's what I do.
Yeah.
When people are ready, not everybody's. I mean, I wasn't ready until I was.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're ready and you're going, I had no idea. Help me. That's what I do.
Yeah, getting healthy is kind of like quitting smoking. You have to really want it.
You do, but it's not as hard as people think. You just one by one, you can upgrade. Or if you have deep pockets, you can just go through with a black plastic bag and get rid of all the chemicals. I've done both for people. I've helped them upgrade little by little.
I like it. Well, let's switch gears here just a little bit, and let's talk a little bit about networking, business networking, where I met you. I met you at Business Networking International.
BNI.
BNI. A little bit about me. I forget. I think it was Tristan, the banker. He invited me in.
Yeah.
And I swear to you, by the end of that meeting, I already made all my money back that I was going to invest in signing up for BNI. I don't know if everyone's like that, but it only took. I'm a mover. It only took one move job to pay for my year membership.
I can't tell you how many times I've told your very story because like you said, it's a success story.
Yeah.
Not everybody has that success, but you did. But you put yourself out there, and you have such a magnetic personality. We all want to do business with you.
I appreciate that.
Like seriously.
I'm not as nice behind closed doors.
Yeah. No.
Just kidding. I mean, you met my wife the other day.
I did.
She's fun too, right?
She's awesome.
Right.
You guys are a great balance.
Well, we own Higher Ground Moving together.
Yes.
And I've done many businesses in the past, and I failed every time because I didn't have a Rachel with me.
Yeah.
I need someone who can be my yang to my very intense yin.
Yeah.
So
I love it. And now you were smart enough to gather a group of referral partners in BNI. Like I can pitch BNI easy because we live under the energy of givers gain.
yeah.
And when you're aligned with these laws of the universe, we all know that what you give out comes back.
Yeah.
And you are a great example of that. Like what you're doing here, providing education to your community.
Well, it's a little bit selfish too. I want to get better at interpersonal communicating. I can talk to a group of people with no problem. One-on-one, I feel a little weird and strange, and because it's more personal, I guess.
Sure.
And so that's kind of one of the selfish reasons behind why I do this. But another one is I really want to let people know that if you're thinking about starting something, or if you're thinking about doing something different, then you can do it. Like I'm not a smart person, and I'm getting it done. I'm not a business savvy. I have all these traits that aren't up to par with where I think I need to be. But we got the #1 moving company in Central Oregon right now, and it's because of the team that I surrounded myself with, and not being afraid to fail. And I'm just trying to preach that to everyone who's watching or listening.
Well, I don't think you can fail unless you quit.
I'm gonna get that tattooed on me.
Well, sometimes it's smart to shift directions, but anyway.
Oh, so most people think that networking or business networking is like a whole bunch of fluff and kind of like multi-level marketing in a way. Is kind of what it feels like, and it feels a bit culty. What do you have to say to people who have that point of view?
Then you get what you look for.
No, it's so true.
I mean, really.
It's so true.
And if that's how they go through life, like, you could look at any organization from like that kind of a perspective, and anything's culty. I mean, there's some legit cults out there that are seriously dangerous, and avoid them. But,
BNI is not one of them.
I don't think it is. No, like we're not hogtied, and you get out of it. It's a very legitimate product.
Yeah.
It's a time-proven, trusted, and it works. It's the best, biggest global networking organization. And so if you have something that is of legitimate value, like essential oils, people think that's culty.
Yeah. And multi-level marketing schemey too.
It can be schemey. Let's talk about that for a minute.
Okay, yeah.
If you don't mind.
I'm here.
You asked me to consider these things. So network marketing, like anything, can be done poorly or it can be done with integrity.
Mm-hmm.
And same with all kinds of marketing and all kinds of business in general.
Yeah.
You know, people can look at what you do and they might have been ripped off by a moving company and
If you've moved before, you've probably been ripped off. Movers are notoriously not who you want to be around.
Isn't that
We
interesting?
pride ourselves in being the opposite, but every day, Ruby from our front office, she hears someone calling, sometimes in tears. They held our stuff across state lines. We can't do it until we pay 3 times more. They broke our TV.
Ooh.
You know, so
You got to be wise and learn from mistakes, but you learn what questions to ask. And so the same is true. Let's just bring it back to B&I.
yeah.
There are some networking organizations that aren't as effective. They're different. I love B&I.
Yeah,
because
B&I
it's
has,
relational.
you said it's giver's gain, and some networking marketing places I've been to, it's more like taker's take.
Yep.
Where when you get up and speak in a circle, everyone's just waiting for their turn to talk rather than for their turn to help whoever just talked last, kind of thing. Which I like about our B&I chapter is it seems so giving to each other.
A good example is we have 2 insurance agents.
Yeah.
And they both could write the same policies for you, but they are the biggest referral partners because, maybe the commercial person can't write the best residential product or vice versa. So they have a perfect referral partner.
And you think that if you're the one person giving the credit to another or the business to another, you think that, oh my gosh, I just gave away business. Now I'm minus $300. When in reality, you gave away business, but you built a customer who might come back to you later because you're full of integrity, kind of.
Absolutely. And so you just described impoverished thinking, in my opinion.
All right.
Poverty-minded, fear-based living. And you're not that.
Well,
I'm not that.
Cindy, my first networking group that I joined was a movers-based networking group. It was Louis Massaro. If you know Louis Massaro, you won't unless you're a mover. I felt that people want to take from you. And I had one lady there who she told me, she goes, Nate, you have a poor person's mindset.
Ooh.
Because I was like, but she told me it to me straight, and I thought about it, and she explained it later that I can't always be trying to be the squirrel hiding all the nuts for myself. I need to collect and give so that it's a community.
Well, and your company does that, and your wife especially works with seniors.
Oh yeah.
And they need extra special care.
Extra.
And
it was a tough one for her yesterday.
She's perfect for that.
She's the most patient.
Patience,
oh yeah. You
yeah.
Pinch poke, you owe me a Coke. Okay, in network marketing, do people make money off of it? I know I did. Is it common for people to make their investment back monetarily?
Well, that's a really good question. I was in a cafe one time, coffee shop or something, and somebody was saying, yes, I'm like network marketing, it's a bunch of scheme. I've never met anybody that made any money, blah, blah, blah. And I just was like, excuse me. And I'm not, we don't really talk about the money we make.
Yeah.
And that you have to have disclaimers and all of that. But I've been able to make a decent living, and I work hard. And I think it's a lie to think that it's easy peasy money.
Yeah.
All right. And it's also a lie to think that only the guy at the top makes money.
No.
I mean, that's the corporate model.
Yeah.
Actually.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right?
Yeah. CEO with their golden parachute.
Well, exactly. So no, if you are diligent, honest, personable, follow up. I mean, you and I are ordinary people, and we are doing extraordinary things.
I believe so too. Yeah. I mean, you're a magnetic person. I'm very happy to be able to meet you so far. So one big thing that I think that we should touch on is consistency. Is what type of consistency is needed to properly network so my business moving? What would you recommend for someone like me starting a service-based business to do as far as consistency? Should they stay consistent, or do they have to? Or
boy, consistency builds trust.
Okay.
So I've been doing this
Consistency
for
builds trust.
20 years, and there's a lot of people that come in and go out or change to some other company that maybe does something a little different, a little more glittery or whatever. But I'm here, and I've had people come back. They've done their little circle and checked out other companies or other oils or other things. Cindy, are you still selling Young Living? And I'm like, I am.
You know it.
Yeah. And same with you.
Yeah.
You know, you've done other businesses, you've
Oh, my
learned
gosh.
from them. It's added to who you are today.
Yep.
But you are, yeah, you got to have life balance, right? Work-life balance.
Yeah, not all. I feel like you have to have work-life balance, but not all the time. I feel like sometimes you got to put your nose to the grindstone and just shut out the distractions and focus on doing the hard work now, so that your future decades of your life and your future generations of your kids and family can have a role model and a little bit of a safety nest egg. So,
You know, there's a reason why a lot of business owners don't make it through the first year. We know that. There's stats out there. I can't remember them all. But a lot of people don't make it through the first year, through the 5th year, through the 10th year, you know?
Yep.
But consistency, tenacity, that's, you know, hanging in there. One of my favorite quotes is, a definition of success, I hope I can get it right, it's the progressive realization of a worthy ideal.
Oh.
So I haven't reached my final goal yet. What I have done is I'm making step by step towards that goal. And it's a worthy ideal because I'm trading my life for it.
yeah. I feel like people of my generation, younger, my kids' generation, my kids are 19 and 17.
Yeah,
I feel like it's instant gratification or no gratification.
you got it.
And it's really hard. Like young folks, it's not overnight that you get to have your moving company with 800 5-star reviews on Google alone.
Whoa.
It's not every day you get to have a 20-year, abundant living career. I mean, these aren't things you just flake in and flake out of.
Well, and so you shared some of your accolades. You've earned that. And just tenacity, ordinary people doing extraordinary things. I'm in the top 0.1% of the company. Because there's a lot of people doing way more than I am, making lots more money than I do.
Different though.
Different. And I'm looking at a squirrel, literally squirrel.
We're on a farm right now, and I saw a tractor go by earlier. I was like, cool tractor.
And that's one of the things about our personalities is we're not necessarily super focused.
Yeah, squirrel.
Right? That's what but that allows us to pivot and be spontaneous. And
Yeah, for me, I can start anything. It's the finishing it that's the hard part.
and that's where
So it'll be 7
really
years.
comes in.
It'll be 7 years in business for us, and April 1st this year.
Congratulations.
Seven
That's
years.
huge.
Oh,
and it's not an easy business.
No, it involves a lot of emotion. I mean, I've had some of the best years of my life and some of the worst moments of my life, just all through this ups and downs. Hiring, firing, learning how to be a better coach and trainer, learning how to work with interpersonally, and these things are hard for me because I used to be a professional fighter, and with that I didn't have any employees, and in my competition I got to punch in the face. So this is perfect, and I could say whatever I wanted, and the more offensive and worst and more divisive things I said, the more money I made because people wanted to see me lose or win. And in this type of business, it's a lot more nose to the grindstone and doing it slow progression, and it's just different.
You're saying the same thing. And that's really the key to success. You do it differently than I do it. You're in a different industry, but really we're in the same industry.
Okay.
We're serving people who have a need, and we're giving them a good product.
Yep.
And we're good people doing good things for
I believe
other
in it.
people, right?
All right, my last question for this networking phase that we're doing right now. Give me a couple of broad or maybe precise do's and don'ts. So if someone's thinking about joining a networking group, a couple do's and a couple don'ts.
So if you're going to join a group, I think a person needs to be committed. Don't just show up once in a while, because that erodes trust. It's like, I haven't seen that person for a while, and it puts a little, so.
And you'll get dropped from BNI if you do that.
Exactly, which is why they do it. And if you're buying a system, use the system. Yeah.
And you can't buy a system that you don't believe in. Even if you don't really in your heart believe in the system, you got to work on it and at least give it its time. Because if you, like you said earlier in the interview, if you have a bad outlook, that's what you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get what you see.
And there's multiple chapters of BNI. Check them out, for example, or other networking groups, whatever serves you. I really believe in BNI because I believe in the principles that we follow. And we've got the stats that show the results.
I love the stats.
40 years.
I love the stats.
Right? And so, but make sure that you can relate to the people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that it's the same like-minded, because there's different cultures, and every group has their own culture.
Mm-hmm.
So
earlier we talked about John Hopkins lymphoma. What's it called again?
Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Okay, I was close.
Yeah.
Okay, now you're doing Kickin Cancer,
Yeah.
right? Can you just give us a broad overview of what that is?
So when I helped my mom, in 7 weeks she was cancer free. 7 weeks.
That's hard to believe.
I know.
I believe you, but it's hard
I
to believe.
know. And that was, 10 years ago. And a lot of the same things down in basically a third world country, Ecuador, we can have right here in Central Oregon. So I want to educate people on what's possible and provide the support.
Okay.
I was able to support my mom emotionally and physically.
Mm-hmm.
They were retired. They were able to pay the money. Cancer is expensive.
That's what I heard.
Right?
There's a lot of money in cancer.
There can be. You even doing it the way we did, we had to go down, fly 7 weeks, all of that. So Kickin Cancer was started by a BNI contact, Baron Robison. You would love Baron. You should interview him.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah, really. So Baron had a vision because his sister got cancer and there was no support, no education. You get this diagnosis and you get swept into the machine.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's important.
It's fear-based.
There's a lot of fear.
Obviously.
Yeah. I want to provide people with support and options and just help them navigate this.
Okay.
Not everybody needs the help. Not everybody wants the help. We have people that aren't interested. They're not a good fit because they're very private people. But if you're well connected and you want some structure to help rally all of your friends and family and neighbors and colleagues, look into Kickin Cancer. Every quarter we help one family.
Okay.
And whatever they need that we can provide, we do that. And
So speaking of you helping a quarter, so who do you help, and how do you pick who gets support? It seems like a tough part of it.
And we're building awareness now. So we've had quarters where nobody applied. So if you know someone that has a cancer diagnosis, that's a great question. I'm going to give you the details.
Dig it in.
First of all, you need support.
Mm-hmm.
Some people can handle it. They've got the money. They've got everything they need.
Real quick, what is support? What do you mean by support?
It can be emotional support. It could be babysitting. It could be somebody that can run errands. Most often it's money. So fundraising support. That's what we did with a recent Kickin Cancer recipient.
Mm-hmm.
But you need to have somebody that serves as an advocate. So Baron is a sports buff.
Okay.
So he uses sports analogies. So the person that we're helping is the go team. All right. And then there has to be a team captain. That's a family member or a neighbor or a best friend that can be the liaison between Kickin Cancer and the person with the diagnosis. Mm-hmm. So there has to be a healthy, strong person that's available and steps up. All right. And then we have a go-to team, which is a network of, healthcare providers, wellness people, support. It's a network. So that's...
Networking is, without your network, humans need a network. We weren't meant to be billions strong, I guess. We were meant to be in tribal networks of, a couple hundred or less, maybe 1,000 or less. It's strange to have access to this many people at once. It's a bit overwhelming. Mm-hmm. And I feel a lot of us, me included, feel in the sea of humans, we still are able to feel lonely, right?
Yeah.
Or unsupported.
Yes.
And it's difficult, especially for men, maybe for women too, but for men to ask for help, it's so tough, right?
Well, and that's where, with Kickin Cancer, it's a nonprofit, and we do help raise money. We've got some structure, some history.
Yeah.
We want to help people.
I like that. Yep. So give me one Kickin Cancer story but besides your mom, that sticks with you, that maybe that someone would like to hear? So maybe someone you've helped or weren't able to help, or
Yeah. Sometimes,
without using personal details,
yeah,
of course.
I will. Um, there are times we're all going to die. All right. So sometimes you just need support in that end of the process. And some,
Like true end of life,
yeah,
acceptance care.
acceptance, forgiveness, and, gratitude. So with essential oils, there's a lot of emotional support that's possible. So.
That's good. I mean, people need support. And so how can how can a regular guy like me in Central Oregon, how can we help Kickin Cancer, your
Well,
organization?
it's so interesting. Sometimes people need help downsizing, and they've got cancer. They're running to doctor's visits or whatever, but they actually need, or maybe the family has lost a family member to cancer. They didn't win that particular battle.
It would be so hard if someone died in a home, to remove their stuff from the house.
It's
Or
hard.
to remove all that. And that's something that I can see us helping with one day, but it'd be so emotional if you had say a son or a daughter die, and now how hard would it be to clear that son or daughter's room? It'd be impossible.
Yeah,
It'd be impossible.
I can't imagine.
I don't want to imagine.
Right. Well, and that's one of the things that you guys do face, I'm sure.
We do. We've been in some very intense situations where we don't. It's tough to know how to act in those situations when someone's just died, or when someone's got a terminal illness and they have to downsize from a 4-bedroom farm home into a studio apartment because they spent all their money on trying to not to die, kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's so expensive.
Yeah, it is.
So I'm just jumping around a little bit.
These
I'm
are
sorry.
Great questions.
But I'm going to go back to BNI again just for a minute. So how did BNI help your business personally?
I'm so glad you asked. So sometimes it's awkward to talk about your business, right? And so with BNI, I love the one-to-ones. That's where every week we meet and spend time with one other BNI member, learning their business. And so we don't have to kind of skirt around the fact that, hey, this is how you can refer me.
Yeah.
And I want to know how I can refer you. And so just to get really confident in talking about my business, asking for the kind of specific referrals I need every week, coming up with a very concise elevator pitch,
Yeah, that's been a real fun one for me, to be able to get in front of the group and kind of say how I can help, but then also say, here's how you can help.
Yes.
And it doesn't feel as transactional because I want to help and I know that everyone else wants to help or they wouldn't be there.
Yep. It's a relational, trust-building organization.
Yep. If we're in a harbor, the tide's going to rise all the boats, right? And the tide of goodwill.
I was in Maui not too long ago, and on the beach, I had a one-to-one on my phone, helping somebody make a order with Young Living. What's the best oil for this situation? And I made some suggestions, and that was kind of fun.
I like that. Yeah, BNI it's just been such a different experience, because in my business, we went 5 years with doing more traditional style marketing. And then this last year when I first started BNI, I said, I'm going to join networking groups for sure. I already get a lot of good from my moving company networking group. I'm in one right now from Austin Yarborough. What's up, Austin? The Moving Army. That's a bunch of moving company owners, and we do nothing besides try and raise everyone's ship. And
I love it.
And I never really understood, because like I said, when I first started going to my first networking meeting, a lady said I had that poor mindset, the poor person's mindset. And I did. And I'm telling you, it's changing. And it's because of groups like BNI, which is seeing it too.
Well, and it's kind of like you're the kind of person that's attracted to BNI because you've developed into a giver's gain mindset. Otherwise, you wouldn't be attracted, you wouldn't resonate, and you wouldn't stay.
It felt weird at the very beginning. Right?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure you remember. It feels different. You're around people you don't know. You're asking. You're being kind of personal. It feels like you're surrounding yourself with powerful people. Who the hell am I to be in this group with all these A teams, these home run hitters?
Yeah, but you're the home run hitter in the moving industry, or you wouldn't be in that chapter. Like,
touche.
Abby's not going to refer you. You know.
We get, I would say,
Jacqueline wouldn't
Jacqueline
refer,
Oakland,
yeah.
and Abby, we get so much business from BNI.
No, let me finish my thought, because they do refer you.
Yeah.
They wouldn't refer somebody that wasn't of quality and trustworthy and consistent. You know what I mean?
Yep.
like you are.
This is a commercial for Higher Ground Moving? No.
Yeah, no, well, it is. Yeah, fair enough. So, and the same is, you don't attract every kind of person to be an employee for you.
No.
And not everybody, really gets it that essential oils are therapeutic. And you can, some people, they want some other company. Great. That they're not for everybody. And so you attract the right kind of person.
My pain level's down to a 2 now, by the way. I can tell you, I feel it relaxing is the thing.
Yeah.
It's because it was so tight that it was hurting so bad. I've been hurt so I'll give you a backstory on this as we're talking. I got sick at the end of the year, missed all the New Year shenanigans. I got sick, I got the whooping flu or whatever. I was coughing and no fever, but I was coughing and hurting. And I coughed so many days in a row that I threw my back out.
I believe it.
And it's been hurting all year. Wow. What is it? The 15th, whatever today is. 16th, because tomorrow's 17th, my daughter's birthday. But happy birthday, Zoe. And these oils, I forgot. So the last time I came here, it helped, but I got bad again. And now it's helping again. But
So that's a really good point of consistency.
yeah.
I use so many products every day in every way. And I got a compliment the other day. I'm 64 years old, and I got a compliment. Cindy, you look so healthy.
You do. You look glowy.
I feel it, you
Yeah.
know. And then when I look at some of my, different people in
Your
my
peers,
life, my
yeah.
peers, and there's always super rock stars. I'm an ordinary girl,
Yeah.
but I'm optimizing. Let's talk about optimal.
Go on.
We're not perfect.
No.
And I'll never have, the 20-year-old body again, but I want the
Who wants it?
best. I want to do the best with what I have.
Yep.
And I'm constantly improving. And so are you.
I think we need to be.
Yeah, I
If
think
we're
so.
going to get passed up by people around us.
Yeah, I believe it.
Back to BNI again, real quick. So what's public speaking? I was going to mention that a moment ago. People are scared to go into BNI or networking groups because if it's a group of 50 people, when it's your turn to talk, you got 100 eyeballs looking at you. Maybe more if some people have glasses on. You know what I mean?
That's funny.
So what would you say to people who are scared of public speaking? And that's the reason why they're not joining a group.
Get a mentor.
Did you just say suck it up a little bit there? Is that what I heard?
No, I said find a mentor. And that's what BNI is, a whole room of mentors in different ways. Wouldn't you sit down with somebody that wants to join BNI, but they just have what you described, that fear of public speaking? You'd help them out.
Yeah.
You'd help them with maybe here, let's get an outline for your first.
Yeah, let's write your first 1-minute speech or talk.
Of course.
Yeah, and then I personally love public speaking.
Yes, so do I.
The better, because I got the little itch, I think I'm going to try and make a joke happen, and it's going to be good. And when the people laugh at it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's good. I get a dopamine reward for it.
I get you. I'm right where, yeah.
Okay, well, who is BNI not for?
Well, it's not for somebody that isn't a team player. You got to be a team player, right? And it's not for somebody who maybe can't take word of mouth referrals. If you're already maxed out in your schedule, maybe BNI is not for you right now, unless you're ready to scale or add an employee, or maybe there is an exception. Sometimes people just want to be better connected. They have lots of business. They're not really looking for referrals for business. Maybe they're looking for their next employee. So who it's not for is somebody with a negative attitude.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Right? And somebody that pulls shenanigans. It's not going to be straight up. And somebody that's not legit,
So it's for people who actively want to better themselves and the people around them.
Absolutely.
While at the same time, like I said, I make a good chunk of money, thousands per month from BNI, thousands per month.
So that's like
we're like
10, 20,
brag.
30, 50 fold from the investment.
It feels like every 2 weeks I've paid for my BNI membership
I'm
again.
so happy for that. And it's deserved.
Yeah, and
Thanks
not
for the
everyone's
pitch.
going to get that, but yeah, I'm a big fan of every networking group I've ever been to. I've gotten something out of it. Even if it was a crummy networking group, I found someone in there or something in there, or I was able to make a note where I went, that's a damn good idea.
Right?
So, I mean, you just don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's the kind of person you are, though.
Yeah.
And that's why I love that you chose Kobe
Mm-hmm.
BNI chapter.
So it's Central Oregon Business
Exchange.
That's
Yeah.
the E. Kobe.
And that's what we're doing. We're exchanging business.
We truly are.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna hit you with some rapid fire questions.
Ooh, all right.
There's gonna be 5 of them. I'm doing this at the end of all my podcasts now,
Ooh.
where I hit you with some rapids, and I want you to not think about it. Just give me what comes off the top of your head. So, what's a habit you swear by that actually makes you better at business? A habit you swear by that makes you better at business.
I go to every educational opportunity that I can.
You're a learner. I knew
I'm
you
a
were going
learner.
to say something like
Okay.
that. So what's something you believed in early that you totally changed your mind about now regarding business?
I kind of didn't think I had what it took because of some of the things I'm not necessarily good at. But
It's so easy to see the negatives in
Yeah.
ourselves.
Uh-huh.
It's like you look in the mirror and you see just negative, negative, negative when we have so much positive. All right, so what's one boring thing that you do that gives you a huge edge? A boring thing.
I sit and talk to people and help them navigate maybe technology for the ordering process, or sometimes I'll do their order for them because I can. Not everybody can figure out a website. I can help them.
Okay.
And a lot of people say, wow, you've got so much patience. Well, she's a human being and she's older or he's older or whatever.
Yeah, patience is tough. That's one of the things I'm working on too. My wife has the patience and the looks. I can't remember what I'm bringing to the table right now, actually. We'll talk about that later.
You bring the heart.
Okay. So what's your favorite local spot in Central Oregon when you need to reset?
Oh, man. Wow, I don't know what to say to that one. You know what? There's a couple of hikes that I like to go to. And sometimes a friend says, hey, Cindy, let's get together. We haven't talked for a while, and we'll just go and meet somewhere and go on a hike.
Nice.
We have some beautiful, right there by the river. There's some really wonderful hikes.
Yeah, Central Oregon is an amazing place. That's why we're a moving company. People want to move here. And the more
Absolutely.
they hear about it, the more they're going to do. My spot where I like to go is actually in the woods too. I like to go to Broken Top Mountain area,
Ooh.
and there's so much to see there. In fact, one time I came face to face with a cougar at night there.
No, that's scary.
I'll tell you a story real fast.
Okay,
All right,
bring it.
So I was there with a friend, and her and I, it was late night. We had some beers in us. We went for a little hike. We're talking midnight. We're hiking in the forest, in the woods, and we come up to a meadow, and there's a pair of green eyes walking back and forth.
Ooh.
And I thought, cool, I'm gonna get me some venison. This is obviously a deer. So with my flashlight, we're walking towards it, and it's walking back and forth with this beautiful green eyes. And I'm thinking, these eyes feel awkward. And I get a little bit closer with the flashlight, and golden muscle-bound fur is looking at me. And like my heart is dropping again just thinking about it. We were so scared, but you can't run away from a cattle chase after you.
Okay.
So we walk backwards with the light shining at it until we can't see the cat anymore. But we got a half a mile until we get back to our tent, which is a tent, so a mountain lion can get through a tent.
Wow.
And later, or the next day, we went back out to that same meadow where we thought the cougar was in the trees, but it was a much bigger meadow than we thought. There was nothing in between us and the cougar. Terrifying. All right, sorry about that digression.
No,
But
I love that story. That's powerful.
if you can give your younger self one sentence of advice, what would it be?
Oh, man. You are stronger and more capable than you think.
Write that down. Yeah, we all are, and that's kind of what this whole podcast is about. All right, so we're wrapping this up now. Let's if you have anything else to say about abundant living or kicking cancer, just love to hear about it. I mean, do you have any words of advice for someone who's either going to start their own benefit, like Kickin Cancer, or looking to start their own venture?
Well, you've mentioned multi-level marketing a few times, and what I love about it is it worked for me. I had 4 kids at home at the time, and there's very little startup costs, and you can fit it around your beach time. And, so I really, if you're interested in starting a business, we should talk. I would be happy to help anybody that might be interested in working from home,
Sweet.
around your raising your kids and get some side fun money or replace a part-time job or a
Yeah.
full-time job.
I mean, working for yourself is not for everyone, but if it is for you, I mean, you can get an abundance of rewards.
Absolutely.
Well, Cindy, it's been an excellent talk. I've had a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
And this has been the Venture into Business podcast. Venture on, my friends.
People didn't die from rattlesnake bites back in the Wild West.